big problem now, considering that Lunatix, they were able to win this game against the Fairy-based composition because they had the Valentina. But this time, with the Valentina banned off, this is a big problem, because as of now, with the Forza ban, as well as the Valentina, Fix is in a position where, what does he do? What kind of hero is going to be able to extend the fight to actually outscale the Cloud Altar? It feels like there's just not a lot as well. Going for the Kadita one-shot isn't necessarily great if the Cloud Altar is going to be able to survive. Purify, that pretty much is out of the equation for him. But they are going to go with the Eve again.
This is probably the only safe choice they have left, since Barca and Valentina were already banned out. So Lunatix recognize that there are some risks. They're gonna go with the Fredrin, not going to try and challenge anything in that regard. What worries me here is the fact that Kaja doesn't have a lot of AoE disable, and against something like the Cold Altar, that's going to be very important for Lunatix.
Yeah, I get where the Yeef is coming from still, right? You can't kind of slow down the Cloud Altar enough here to try and stop RSG Slate MY in his tracks. But the problem here is that RSG Slate MY, their majority of the time, they are going to group up as 5. You are going to get a lot of value damage in terms of the Yeef, but you won't get those finishes to capitalize on compared to how a hero like Valentina or maybe even Lunox, once the Divine Judgment comes in, right? So this is something that I think Lunatix will eventually try to minimize by getting an XP laner or maybe even a marksman, which gives you a lot of magic damage. So I feel like the best marksman here from Lunatix to play later on is pretty much bringing in the Harif, which we didn't see too much to deal with the Forumized Cloud Altar. But I don't think Lunatix will play though, if you think about it.
Yeah, I'm not too sure if that's something they want to lean towards, especially since they already have 2 sources of magic damage. Would be very easy to itemize against, but RSG Slate feeling confident here. Lalil straight up challenging Jome, as well as Nova saying, we destroyed you in the Kaja versus Claude matchup previously. Now I'm going to show you how it's actually played. We'll see if that works.
Okay, Leslie here for true damage experience. I'm a little bit surprised by that. I guess RSG Slate MY is afraid that maybe Jome is going to be looking towards the Brody or even the Brody or even the Moskov potentially pick up, but I feel like Jome still has the capabilities to still bring the Beatrix, and never mind, it's gone. You know, Beatrix, great way to deal with the Cloud Altar. It's completely taken out of equation. No thanks, bye-bye. Goodbye, marksman.
Yeah, lots of focus towards Jome right now. They're basically forcing Lunatix to say, like, Jome, you may have to play Harif here, because the Beatrix, the Leslie, already gone. Claude has been stolen. 1-1 and Melissa were banned out by Lunatix themselves. We're instantly going to be seeing something new from Jome this game. And hopefully it will be enough. A lot of the marksmen left aren't quite efficient at dealing with the Cult Altar. RSG Slate right now drafting very smartly as the glue is removed from Rippo's hero pool.
Well, now Rippo is going to be in a position here. They might be drafting the Lapu Lapu for him in the comfort here. But interesting enough, it feels like based on the on what Izanami is going to be playing, it's most likely good. Sorry, what Lexia is going to be playing here is going to be a big question here. I don't think this is going to be a support Faramis. We haven't seen that for quite some time. I feel like Faramis in this role is going to be a little bit of an awkward position, but hold that thought for now. Wait a minute. This is Repo playing the Martis. And this is a jungle Lancer from our another. Okay. They're flexing this. They're flexing this to the limits for RSG Slate MY. All right.
Yep. Keeping the roam position until the very end to make sure that they have the best matchup against Lunatix's finalized lineup. I am liking this so far. It's gonna put some pressure onto Xeno in order to perform. Not a lot of heroes match up well into the Martis here. I guess probably Lapu Lapu will have to be the final choice unless they decide, let's take some risks, let's go for the Benedetta in order to have some additional crowd control. Based on the voice line, it is going to be the Lapu, and wow!
Let's go!
Lunatix gonna take the jaunt right now. The Jome Harif going to make its appearance.
You know, this is the best way possible here. Like, they're lacking in terms of magical damage here. Harif is like the best way to capitalize on Divine Judgment, best way to deal with Cloud Altar. They've got so much early aggression, but the problem here is still, who is going to be the one to stop this Lancelot? Because I did not expect this as well. And they've got a very, very strong early game pressure coming from Lunatix. But when it comes to late game, well, RSG Slate MY has got a very, very strong late game potential. And this is something that Repo has once upon a time said this before. Late game is RSG's game. And it seems like this might be the case because now with the final pick here, I'm curious to see what Lexia is going to be playing. Are we going to see a potential Ruby? But no, it is going to be the Franco to try and lock down the Harif. All right.
The direct challenge right there. For a moment, I was kind of wondering, are we going to see a Mincetar roam here to directly counter the Harif? But nope. They're gonna play it safe, go to Franco, go for that bloody hunt. It even provides suppression if they really want to focus onto Fake specifically here. So lots of utility coming out of RSG Slate MY. They really want to move themselves up in the rankings.
I'm really surprised by this pick as well. I'm really, really surprised. I was expecting the Mincetar like you called as well. But based on this draft, Team Lunatix, they are going to try and play around Jome, being extremely aggressive this game. And they are going to be heavily focusing and making sure that Jome is able to close out this game before we hit into his later stage game. Whereas RSG Slate MY's condition, they are going to play around this Cult Altar to extend the fight and drag it into the late game where they come up on top. That pretty much sums up both teams so far.
Land of Dawn, you are a familiar face, my friend, and we are glad to be back. This is going to be the final game of Week 5, Day 3. Team Lunatix on the blue side up against RSG Slate MY on the red side. The score is 1-1. Winner takes all. Let's find out who our final victor for Week 5 will be.
Oh, this is scary. This is gonna be a scary game here. Okay.
Woo.
A little bit too early. Lexia. Chill, calm yourself. But as of now, if he got that early hook here, maybe he would have done the same or what Nova would have done. Apply pressure, force utilities, force battle spells. That's pretty much a very, very good way to start things off. But I'm really surprised that Lexia didn't even bother trying. Oh no, as soon as I say this.
Fakes pulled back in, Shadow Stampede pulling him even further back, but not enough follow-up damage means that even Lexia gonna be poked pretty heavily in return. So far, mid lane pressure though, definitely in favor of RSG.
You know, it's funny, right? A majority of tier 2 teams from all Southeast Asia, they love playing this composition here where they have some sort of isolation tactics here. So either for Ramis, it's either the Glue, or it's either the Kaja, all this hero, or even the Cho to a certain degree, which kind of force you in this position where the moment you're out of position, we are going to go for this pickoffs. And RSG Slate MY, they're really sticking to these roots.
They want to try and win out this lane for Lalils as well, because as long as Jome is shut down right from the get-go, Team Lunatix are again in a situation where they actually don't have a lot of late-game scaling. So once that stage of the game comes around, Lunatix have to be very careful.
Yeah, I'm curious to see whether or not how they're playing this here, because based on this aggression that Team Lunatix is playing here, I'm surprised they're not playing around Jome's lane, giving him a little bit more free reign to grow and try and cause havoc on the other side of the map. But the problem is, what value can they get in punishing Repo? This is a Martin's XP we're talking about.
Turtle gonna be dropping right now, 50%. RSG are here as well, zoning out the members of Team Lunatix. Xeno jumping in, bravest fighter. Will it be enough? Novak Escobar looking for the catch, but Linkeza secures the turtle. Real manipulation comes out, surrounds the battlefield. Meanwhile, Appraiser's Wrath finishes off Izanami. First blood going over to Uni as Xeno able to flicker away from RSG's clutches.
Oh, that is very smart. That is very, very smart here. RSG Slate MY, they forced the fight, great, you know, they forced the fight, they called out hard, they thought they were going to be able to win the fight, but guess what, if you're right in the face of Uni, that means he is going to get free taunts in terms of value. He may have lost the trade here, but they are going to be able to get a couple of kills here. But as long as they're trading 50-50s, it feels like Team Lunatix is winning, but hold that thought for now, the hook coming in.
Lexia not gonna bloody hunt him actually in this situation. It's on cooldown, he used it last fight, so Nova able to dash out to safety, that's important.
Yeah, back to my point as well, it seems like they're trying to play around a condition where if they trade 50-50s, it's all right, because eventually late game is going to be RSG game, whereas Team Lunatix, they cannot afford to do this as much as they can. They need to find a way to actually punish Linkeza in their capabilities, and so far, it's going to be very difficult considering that Nova Escobar has two decisions: punish Lolios or punish Linkeza in the early stage of the game.
Speaking of, Linkeza able to steal away the gold crab with that retribution under the nose of Uni right there, keeping RSG ahead slightly. Uni going in, looking for the taunt onto Lexia, but the flicker from the Franco gets him out. Lunatix, their resources wasted here.
Yep, this is going to be a very, very big problem for them. But for now, nothing much is happening from both sides, playing very, very defensively. Lunatix also setting up a couple of ambushes. Likewise can be said from RSG's lane MY. They're just dodging their way through, not making a lot of movements, but they're calling in low Leos a little bit early to try and get a little bit more fights, expecting that Team Lunatix is going to be joining the fight. But guess what? They're not doing it at all. I feel like RSG's lane MY, they're just overthinking this right now.
But for RSG, they're actually really happy with the state of affairs. Lolios is not being disturbed in the gold lane at all. And while that's also beneficial for Jome, since he wins that 1v1, the late game scaling gonna be in RSG's favor, as now they're gonna contest the turtle once again. 4v3 situation. Hook going to miss. Novak Skobar with the blind judgment into the real manipulation. Cold Altar, will he be able to save Link Eza? It is enough for now. It's Izanami somehow gets the turtle. Zeno joining the fight as well, going for the backline. Lolios picks off Fakes. Meanwhile, the fight is completely scattered as Rippo finishes off Nova Kobar and chases back the members of Team Lunatix.
Oh, you hate to see it here. Team Lunatix, they wanted to get the kill for Jome. Unfortunately, Izanami Rakarota with the saves allowed Link Eza to get so much free value charge to dive the backlines and also retribution the turtle, whereas Uni was so preoccupied and fighting at that's a good one as well.
Lexiac, he got the Iron Hook, but not enough damage here to finish them off. They're afraid of Novak's Cobra's re-engage. Random execution comes forth. Link Eza looking for the trade, but all he does is zone away Lunatix from his teammates.
Now, this is a problem now for the side of Team Lunatix. They understand that this Pharam is coming in with the Cloud Altar. They need to find a way to get a pick, because eventually, if they don't start getting kills right now, RSG's lane MY is going to start to pop off a little bit more. They fixed up the lane. They went out for a little bit of switch as well. This time, they're finally playing around Jome into the bottom lane and leave Zeno to deal with the Lolios here.
Yeah, Lexia surprisingly hitting a lot of these hooks, but not following up on it. You can see RSG's lane, they're comfortable with the state of affairs. They don't have to force pickoffs. They don't need to force kills. They just got a delay. But Novak Skobar catches out Rippo with the Divine Judgment. Is it going to be enough though? Zaman Force comes out, but they are under the tower. They get the taunt. Cult Altar keeping RSG alive. Uni jumping forward. Fakes. Picks off Rippo. Jome trying to follow up on Link Eza, but not able to do so as the Iron Hook just barely misses Uni. Meanwhile, Lunatix, they want to force down to tier 1. Lexia force the flicker away. Lunatix, they'll get this tier 1. But in the meantime, Lolios, he may be getting one for himself too up top.
Yep, finally, a little bit more room to work with from the side of Team
Lunatix. Mid lane!
But oh my god, Lixia actually got the hook on Zeno!
He actually picked him off. What a mistake there. I thought Zeno would be able to walk away just fine, but Lexia finishing in. They're gonna re-engage. The turtle is up. The hook again from Lexia, challenging Novak's Kobar, picking him off. Uni somehow still stealing the turtle away despite all of that, but now he may be out of position. Will he get away? Yup, Iron Hook finally misses here.
Yeah, but a little bit of a scary approach, but RSG's lane MY, they're starting to inch a little bit into the later stage of the game. This is not supposed to be going in favor of RSG's lane MY at all. Team Lunatix, they made a little bit of an early shift. Unfortunately enough, it is going to be extremely difficult to actually make a fight now, because considering that Lolios is getting free farm across the map and he just got his golden staff, and that's a very early one as well for RSG's lane MY, and this is going to allow Lolios to get so much value in all these team fights against Team Lunatix.
Novak Kobar, Divine Judgment catches out Rippo. Zaman Force pops down, but Rippo flickers away to safety. In the meantime, look at Lexia. He's looking for Jome. He wants the bloody hunt. Nova trying to slow him down, but he gets it onto the Harif. Rippo following up. Novak Kobar not going to be able to save him. Rippo comes in, decimate, gives the kill over to Izanami, and Rippo follows up with a kill onto Nova as well as Fakes is picked up 1v1 mid lane with a blazing duet. RSG Slate MY upping the stakes, upping the momentum.
Beautiful stuff coming from RSG's lane MY. Very, very good punish as well. They realize that their draft is, once you come in, you're never getting out. And that's exactly what they're doing here, coming in from RSG's lane MY. Team Lunatix, they have to start respecting this. But for how long? They need to group up as 5 in order to be able to get a couple kills in. But as of now, Repo, he just got his Radiant Armor. And this is a big, major blow in terms of the overall damage output that Team Lunatix is thinking to bring to the table.
The big problem with this Harif pick from Lunatix, a single Radiant Armor, and RSG are able to resist all of the major DPS from Jome and Fakes. Lunatix They need to be ahead here. Divine Judgment, they catch out Link Eza. Cold Altar comes in to save him. He dashes out to safety. They're not able to catch him out, but Izanami maybe a bit too far. He gets taunted backwards. Rippo gonna actually zone beautifully as Joe flickers forward to try and finish him, but cannot do so.
Oh, pesky little Prince of May. That is so frustrating from the side of Team Lunatix. Whereas RSG, Slate, and MY, they're doing a fantastic job at playing their power spikes now. They've got a 4K net worth lead. They've got a pretty decent lane push out on the bottom side. Now's the perfect time to fight this. But at the same time, Izanami, he doesn't have his counter altar yet.
Oh, they're gonna catch out Zeno. He's way too far. Izanami picks him off. The rest of Lunatix looking for a revenge kill, but Link Eza grouping them all together. He dashes a bit too far. He gets punished by fakes. Uni delaying Lexia. He catches out the Franco, who's taking a lot of damage. Zone finishes him off, and Rippo flickering forward. He's looking for Novak Kobar, but he's not quite in decimate range yet. Fakes this though, so he picks him off. Killing spree for Rippo as Uni is zoned out by Izanami. Novak Kobar, Divine Judgment. It's only gonna delay the inevitable double kill for Rippo.
Oh my god, Rippo and Izanami just completely destroyed that. No count altar, no problem. Team Lunatix, they forced the fight, but eventually, because of why Rippo is in the midst of all this fight, Team Lunatix may look like they have the numbers advantage, but they just couldn't get the damage across. This Radiant Armor on Rippo just completely set Jome in a situation where they couldn't even do anything, and Izanami was able to get 3 value hits across this entire fight, and Team Lunatix is put in a very, very tough spot now.
Team Lunatix falling apart like a Lego tower right now. RSG Slate just has so much more utility, so many more resources. Lunatix needs a perfect teamfight execution, and all RSG Slate needs to do is walk at them. 6k net worth lead. Lord pushing down mid lane. Lunatix, will they be able to defend this? It's only elemental. It's not going to crash into the tower, but Lexia gonna be looking for any opportunity he can find. Link Eza just being a nuisance right now. The Iron Hook gonna find Uni, pulls him forward. Real World Manipulation comes out. Cold Altar as well as Divine Judgment pulling Link Eza back into the base, but he just dashes out. This Landslot is so slippery.
Oh my god, they have a big, big problem. And then guess what? Link Eza's got the immortality on top of him, and that's gonna be a very difficult one. They don't have the tools, but Nova, he's gonna be in a bit of trouble.
He tried to go for another catch, but he doesn't have his ultimate. Got pushed out of position. In the meantime, they actually do get one turret. All the external towers for Team Lunatix have been taken out by RSG.
Oh,
Lexia playing with fire. They're flickering forward, missing the hook. That would have been a flex if it hit. The RSG, they're actually still going for it here. They're trying to force the positioning. Lunatix, they're all refreshed up. Bravest Fighter jumps out. They get the catch in. Here comes Rippo disrupting the backline. RSG, they're gonna push them out. They're stacking up real hard though. Zaman Force allowing Jome to just finish off Lexia as the Blazing Duet comes out from Lolios to clean up their act. Cold Altar keeping RSG alive. Lunatix pretty tanky.
Oh!
Gets the double! Gets the triple! The Prince of Mages proves his superiority as Lunatix are taken apart one by one. Nova Kobar, the only survivor, and Izanami just adding insult to injury. RSG Slate MY with a reversal against Team Lunatix.